Hello peoples, Red Pill Phil with a touch of the old grey finger, very contagious. I've got to give a thanks to all my supporters, everyone who follows the channel, who looks at the videos. I'd also like to thank many various people over the months and years who've sent me various links on various subjects, which some have followed up on, some I haven't, but they're both, and they're all rather, just as important in terms of trying to keep the fight going, trying to spread the message. So thank you to everyone concerned there. There's a tweet that I've just come across. I'm not on Twitter, although I do believe there is a Red Pill Phil on Twitter. It's not me, so if you see anything that's reflective of Red Pill Phil on Twitter, it's not me. It's not my handle. The Baroness, TONI BUGLE, sent me a screenshot before of a tweet that was sent, albeit last year. It was sent on the 16th of December 2018 at 11:13 a.m. This tweet had 426 retweets and 2,993 likes at the time of the screenshot. God knows where it is now, but the person's Twitter account is of a person, whether it's fictional or not. It's got a blue tick, so I guess that gives it some form of accreditation, validates it. Dr. Hussein Kezvani, whether this person's an actual doctor or not. I've had a little look on the internet and it is a valid Twitter account. Same again, this is not even a year old, is it really? You're talking 9 months old, 8 months old. This tweet goes as follows. I love being a doctor. This is professing that he's a doctor. I love being a doctor and whispering verses of the Quran into the ears of white babies and therefore making them Muslim. The hospital I work for knows I have been doing this for years but can't strike me off because they are scared of being called racist. Now, what do you guys get from that? I get that the guy is a bit of a twisted individual for starters, for believing that if he whispers words of a book that he believes in, somehow that makes the individual he's whispering to property of that book. I mean, that is a crazy logic. His intelligence is lost on the fact that if you're whispering to a baby that can't really understand you from the moment of its conception, then how do you expect that baby to all of a sudden think, well, I'm deep down a Muslim because this weirdo, freaky doctor whispered something while I was stark bollock naked while I just got out my mother's womb. That's not strange, is it? Someone who believes that you can just turn white people into Muslims like that by whispering? What the fuck? Pardon my French and my grey finger. Where's the logic with that? Seriously? This ain't Game of Thrones. This ain't the White Walkers, where you've got the chief White Walker that can just raise his hands. And anyone who's been trying to defeat the White Walkers and has died trying, then ultimately becomes a White Walker.
All I have to do is utter a couple of verses from the Quran, and your white babies are Muslims, right? Don't fuck with me. Pardon my French. Watch this, mucker. What you doing? Are you trying to tell me that all my brethren are now Muslims? Fucking hell. Pardon my French.
Who's this guy think he is? But the bottom line is, I mean, how divisive is that? Doesn't that play into grooming? Is what he's talking about? Is it grooming? Is he talking about grooming from the moment a baby's born? That's what I get from this. Because if he believes that he can utter just some words of the Quran and that makes that baby the property of Islam, That's being like a pimp. That's grooming. Don't blame the chicken shop. Blame the doctor, by the looks of it. It's a mentality. He's obviously golding as well, because as we know on this side of the movement, that if people retweet, people post anything of a nature now that is deemed going against the narrative, you get treated accordingly, you get ostracised, you get put into your position. It turns out that when you do look up this individual on Twitter, he no longer has the doctor status. So upon more investigation of this Hussein Kesvani, thank you to the man Great Brit. Great Brit has uncovered the fact that this man is a journalist. The guy is a journalist. Then when you look into his LinkedIn profile, and a multimedia producer who has worked in print, video, audio and online news environments. So this is a journalist that's posing as a doctor, that's then disseminating what you could class as antagonistic comments in order to get a reaction from people. Then he could use that in a journalistic element to then call these people far right to create a story. So you've got journalists posing and creating problems under the problem reaction solution theory and creating what you could deem as Islamophobia by false reporting. Is that what I'm seeing here from Hussein Kesvani? Is this man posing to be a doctor when he's no more of a doctor than I am a frigging sailor? Seriously? Does this man need to be brought to account for impersonating a doctor and then sending out tweets that are antagonistic towards a population of people that are bound to react under the premise of it being sent by a doctor? Shizzle on my nizzle. This Hussein Kesvani has not only impersonated a doctor, but he's antagonised the majority of the white population. He's insulted anyone who is a doctor of any faith now. People will be looking at other professionals and wondering where their allegiances lie. So would you say that this has backfired? I'd say it would. Hussein Kesvani, London, Greater London, United Kingdom, media production. So this guy is in media. Does his bosses now need to be made aware that he's disseminating tweets of this nature? Openly talking about in his fantasy world converting people through whispering when they haven't even got the facility of speech, can't even probably open their eyes. I mean, let's look at on the other side of the fence. Me as a heavily devout Christian, was a doctor, whatever profession. If I suddenly decided to turn round and whisper into people's ears whilst they're sleeping, if I'm a doctor whilst I'm treating them just after giving birth or while they're going through whatever treatment and trauma that they're going through, that if I somehow feel that by preaching Christianity to a Muslim, in my world, if that makes them a Christian, if I was then to come out on a public forum and then start talking about that, celebrating it, promoting it, would that get the establishment on my case? Would I have my Twitter closed down? Would I be ostracised? Would the press vilify me? Would Hope Not Hate be all of a sudden having pictures of me on dartboards? It's just a contradiction, it's hypocrisy. You'd think the public court of opinion should put you in your place. You think the media would do the best to out you. Not only is your rhetoric not helping, it's making matters worse. The bigger issue is, where's your allegiances lie? Seriously? The bosses of this individual, even if he's not a doctor, need to look at him and go, dude, you're wrong. You're bang out of order. We need to kind of talk about it. So I don't know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like I say, this is quite a dated tweet. I'm not a frequenter on Twitter, nor do I want to be. These are some of the many reasons why I don't interject and I don't engage. People have got fucked up theories, fucked up philosophies, fucked up mentalities. Pardon my French. And I find it hard to debate with people when they're just coming from this position anyway. Even on the other side of the fence, when you've got people that vehemently want to attack people like this because they've been emotionally wound up by it, which will play into the hands of people like this and the establishment. You don't see how you can calm people down when they're reading tweets like this. So it's not a helpful situation that kind of needs to be talked about, really, I would say. But let the public court of opinion decide, guys. Red Pill Phil, I love you all, even the pissing doctors. See you later, guys.